Alright, guys, so today I am going to be talking about the 8 questions that I have that F9 needs to answer. Because, as we saw in the trailer for this movie, we saw that a bunch of questions needed to be answered. And I'm going to cover all of the ones I have today, so let's go ahead and get started with number 1. And that first question I have that F9 needs to answer is, how does Cypher know about Dom's brother Jacob? And there are a few possible explanations to this. So one, either Cypher used her incredible hacking skills and just hacked into Dom's life profile or something like that and just found out that he had a brother, and she contacted him through that, or somehow got Jacob's phone number or something if he had a phone then. Or there is this possibility, which I'm pretty sure is the right answer, but ultimately it's up to F9 to answer it, is that Jacob has been working with Cypher all these years, like the past 10 years or so, during the Fast and Furious franchise, probably starting during Fast and Furious 5 or Fast and Furious 4, and they've been working together ever since to enhance their reign of terror. So, yeah, that is the first one. Second question I have is, why are Sean and Twinkie in F9? If you look up the cast on Google, you see them both in there, and that's definitely something that needs to be answered, but that's not a huge question, not one of the big ones that they need to answer. I'd be fine with it if they didn't, but it'd be nice to know why they're in there. Alright, so the third question that needs to be answered is, where is Owen Shaw in the movie? So, as we saw in The Fate of the Furious, or Fast and Furious 8, Owen Shaw helped out with that last plane mission. He helped out Deckard Shaw, his brother, take down that plane, pretty much. And he had a couple of things he said which may sound ridiculous to you because he was given his freedom, as far as we know. But there's a possibility that Owen Shaw could be back in prison, but facing a much lighter sentence, maybe. Or there's also the possibility that he took over that plane because I remember him saying, he's like, nice plane, I'm gonna enjoy having this. I highly doubt that's true, though, since he was given his freedom, as far as we know. But ultimately, we need to know why he is not in the movie. Alright, so the fourth question that needs to be answered in F9 is, what year does F9 take place? So we know that Hobbs and Shaw takes place in 2017 because the movies release every 2 years, and usually 2 years before the release date is when it takes place. So we need to know, when does F9 take place, because we were all thinking 2019, and then it got pushed back, and then it got pushed back more. So we don't know if it's 2019 or 2020. It's not 2021, but we need to know what year this movie's taking place, because I feel like if the directors fail to announce what year this takes place, in the movie, then the timeline will be pretty messed up, and we won't know for sure how long the crew's been doing this, because they've been doing this since 2001, and if it takes place in 2019, that would signify that they've been doing this for almost 20 years. So it's pretty important that they let us know when F9 takes place. Alright, so the fifth question I have is, how is Han alive? Now, this is one of the big ones, because there are multiple possibilities for this. So, there is the possibility that Han did survive that crash, and But, you know, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, it was a disaster of a movie. And it didn't really, it wasn't that professional. It didn't feel like Fast and Furious really to me. But Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, how would Han survive that car crash? That car exploded, and he'd definitely be dead if he was caught inside of that. But there was a cutscene maybe that he escaped, because obviously he did, because he's alive now. But we need to know, why is Han still alive? This is one that they won't fail to answer because it's one of the biggest ones. All right, so question number 6 sort of ties into number 5. Is Han a cyborg? So, as we saw in Hobbs and Shaw, that yes, I know Hobbs and Shaw is a spin-off, and it's has nothing to do with the original franchise, even though it does, because it has the same characters and generally a realistic storyline from where the franchise was in 2017. But we need to know, is Han a cyborg? Because as we saw in Hobbs and Shaw, that guy, I can't remember his name right now, that black guy with the robot parts, he was insane. Brixton, yeah, that guy. So he had like all these robot body parts that brought him back to life. So maybe that is something that happened, and that's how Han's alive, because that'd be pretty. They could work around that and explain that in the movie. All right, so question number 7 that F9 needs to answer, one that I have, is who is this girl in the picture of F9? I'm gonna throw it up right now. Who is this character? I've never seen her before. Is this Ramsey, or is it that girl from Tokyo Drift that Sean liked? I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments who that is, because it can be either one of them or it can be an entirely new crew member. But I'm pretty positive it's Ramsey, but just in a different look from when we've seen her previously. Alright, so the last question I have is Brian dead in F9, or will he return in F10? So, in the trailer, we saw that Mia has returned to action in F9. So, we need to know, is Brian dead, or is Brian hurt, or is he in the hospital? Did something happen to him, or, like, where is he? Why is he not out here instead of her? And I wouldn't think Mia would do a thing where she would go out instead of Brian, because that's just not her thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out there. But I looked up the F10 cast, and I didn't see an actor for Brian, so it could be a possibility that Brian is dead, even though people have been saying Brian will return in F10. So it's really up to the movie to answer if Brian is alive or not. So thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, please. Please do all of these things. I'm trying to grow, and I'm doing pretty well. So I hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, and subscribe, please. It would really help me out. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.